I started out with a horse and buggy, going to Sunday school and church, and I rode an old when we walked to school. We walked about 3 or 4 miles.
Really? That far?
Well, I lived in Arkansas.
Okay.
When we had the school money, we got a school bus, an old truck.
Okay.
With a tarpaulin over it. When it was bad. And I got sick riding in the fumes in the back of the truck, so luckily sometimes I would get to ride in the cab.
This afternoon is a different kind of miracle, one of perseverance and staying the course. Let's hear from Janell Webb. After recording this interview with me in January, she has had a hip broken and nothing can keep this woman down. She is actually in full recovery and she is making an amazing gift towards proving the spirit of a 15-minute miracle.
With the bus driver.
Oh, wow. And where was this in Arkansas?
Pea Ridge, Arkansas.
Okay. Right down by the battlefield.
Yeah. Not far from it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, did you do all of your school in Arkansas or some of it?
Well, I started out at a little country store, school named Shady Grove.
Okay.
And that was about 2 miles from home then, where we lived. And I walked with 3 or 4 other children from in one instance we walked home from school one day. It was a pretty warm, nice day. And they got us word some way that our dog had gone mad, and they was wondering how we was going to get in the house. So we got down to the house, and the children ran every way to get on something when they saw the dog coming. Most of us went to the old hay rake that was sitting in the yard. And one boy didn't make it. He was my uncle, but he was only a year or 2 older than me.
Really?
So he got bit and had to take the rabies
Oh my
shot.
gosh, yeah. That's...
And the rest of us climbed on that hay rake and got the walnuts off of the tree and rammed our hands through them. We were so nervous. And
How old do you think you were then? What age do you think you were?
I was about 7.
Really?
Then the dog ran under the house and they shot it and sent its head off to be examined, and it was rabies.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so then when you got out of grade school, what happened next?
Then we went to high school, or Pea Ridge High School.
How many people were in that?
And I went from there through school, graduated in 1940.
1940. You graduated the year my mom was born.
Well, is that right?
And so what was it like to be in high school at that time during the Great Depression?
Oh, it was terrible. I guess everybody was in the same boat, though. We didn't have any money. We would take 2 or 3 eggs to town on the school bus
2 or 3 eggs.
and sell them to get a stamp to mail a letter.
Okay, and so 2 or 3 eggs equals 1 stamp. Is that how?
A stamp was 2 or 3 cents then, I think. Then after high school, I went to Kansas City and
Wow.
worked at Sears and Roebuck
Really?
in the catalog department.
Okay.
And then I worked at Ford Motor Company. And then a place where they made tents for the soldiers. This
really?
was this before the war, World War II.
Tell me about Sears and Roebuck working there. What was that like?
That was a busy place.
I bet.
People would send in orders and we'd fill them and slam them out there as fast as we could.
The original Amazon.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt. And what about Ford Motor Company? What was that like?
Well, that was a busy place, and
What was your job there?
I drilled. Now I've kind of forgotten what all I did do there, but I drilled holes for what do you call carburetors?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to make cars.
Was there any certain model that you were making, or who was it for? You do you remember the model or the names of them or whatever?
Oh, probably a Model T. No, I guess maybe they were a little later than that, but
And so after the tent company, what did you do next?
after
After the tent company.
we made tents for servicemen. They sent them wherever they needed them.
And what did you do after that?
John Webb came to Kansas City and went to work in
Where did he
a
work?
drugstore.
Okay.
And
How did you meet him?
well, we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Really? Okay, in
And,
Arkansas.
In Pea Ridge, and he followed me to Kansas City, and then he was called into service and went to Rio Grande City, Texas.
Really?
Then I followed him down there, and we got married
Oh, did you? In Texas?
in Texas,
Wow.
Fort Ringgold, Texas.
Wow.
And now my son is vacationing down there in the wintertime. And he goes to the same place I got my marriage license.
Really? What year
Now,
was
but
that?
it's changed.
What year was that you got married?
19. Well, help me out. When did
When was that, Vicki?
40.
5?
1943 is when I got married.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
And then he
What
went.
date?
What date?
I was just wondering which wedding date was.
May 26th.
May 26th,
Yeah.
1943. And then he went to
Where was he stationed? Was it over in...
China, Burma, and India.
Oh, really? How long was he there?
Well, he got injured in 1944
Okay.
and got to come home. Had a bullet slide through his hand. It wasn't serious or anything, but it was enough to get him home.
Sure. And so when you got back, well, how did you get to Crane? I guess would be my next question.
All right,
Where'd you go to beauty school?
I come home and I started a beauty shop in a lady's house
And where was that?
in Pea Ridge.
Okay, all right.
And well, we lived in the house after we got married till we moved out to ourselves, and then
And how did you get up here to Crane?
how we got to Crane. Okay, we went. John and his brother went into the propane gas business
Okay.
in Pea Ridge. Then we moved to Seligman.
Okay. Moving up this way.
I'm moving this way, and had Gary and Johnny, and
When was that? What years was that?
19.
45 or 46?
It's 46, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we went in the gas business, and we lived in Crane, and his brother lived in, we lived in Seligman, and then he lived in Cassville,
Really?
his brother.
Okay.
And we kept moving this way, and then there was a good opening for the gas business here. RV, or
LP.
Wilson had the other gas company.
Okay.
And then when we moved to Crane, we stayed. And Gary was, my oldest boy, was started his first day of school the day we moved to Crane.
Really?
And we
And then Johnny?
then Johnny came along, and he started school in Crane. And the first people we met when we at first day of school was Metcalf,
Okay.
and I met his mother in school, and we were room mothers for several years
Which
together.
Metcalf was that?
Edwin Metcalf
Okay.
and Judy Seva's mother.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need to learn that every miracle is a little different, and sometimes it's just persevering and sticking the path. And so I advise you to go to heroesandmiracles.com and also go to 15minutemiracles.com. The full story of Janell Webb can be found at DaleWileyShow.com. Enjoy that and come back to see me next time.